Yo, how's it going everyone? My name is Jack, welcome back to the channel. It's another brand new week, which means we got some brand new news to go over. Today, pros speak about the Stinger and Frenzy meta and how RNG it is, and this has finally forced Riot's hand, and we now know that these two problem children will be nerfed very soon, which means you won't want to miss out on this video. And of course, before we get stuck in, we have our question of the day. With a new patch seemingly around the corner and the end of the act also not far off, I got one question on my mind. Do you guys want to see a new map or a new agent in the next act? Now, set aside that Riot have of course teased the next agent coming to the game very soon, but what would you have preferred to see, agent or map? For me, honestly, I'm super down to get more maps in the game. I hope Riot set aside some time soon to do another article about this, but I want to know what the plan is for the year in terms of map production. It feels like, especially for the competitive scene, the sooner we can get to a 7 map pool the better, and once we get there we can also have quality of life stuff like map selection and ranked. But that's just my opinion. Let me know how y'all are feeling in those comments down below. And if we do get new maps soon, the number one place to go for the best strats and setups and tips is SkillCapped.com. Get access to our huge library of training modules to mold every aspect of your game, from that IGL brain to the jet main controlling the flicks. Get access to the tools you need to get the rank you always wanted at the link down below. Alright, so we all know it. We talked about it at length in the past. The proverbial breach of weapons, the Stinger and the Frenzy, have become infamous in the last few months. I mean, we've all been aware that these guns are ridiculous, going all the way back to the beta. But that's just kind of how metagames work, baby. Sometimes things just fly under the radar while people work on finding the best ways to play the game. That continual effort to get the best outcomes at the least cost is how metagames evolve over time, and that's why only now are people waking up to the fact that the Stinger and Frenzy are ridiculous. That sentiment spilled over to Twitter finally, with various pro players voicing their complaints, from Captain Ameridad himself, Nitro, calling pistol rounds more RNG than they've ever been since the Frenzy meta set in. A statement which was taken even further by Cloud9 White's Mel, saying that the first 3 rounds of the game are an utter coin flip, which I really have to agree with. You see, in the earlier pistol metas of Valorant, like back during the First Strike era, the entire name of the game was your best players took ghosts, your supports had classics and utility and armor if they could afford it, and while aspects in that meta were random a la classic right clicks, things were way more about pistol proficiency and accuracy to get the most out of the ghosts. Fast forward to now, and it's just who can 80-80-80 spam and get the first Frenzy headshot like it's frickin' Call of Duty. And like, even if you lose the pistol round, guess what, you can just buy armor, Stinger next round, and bada bing bada boom, you now have unlocked the ultimate meat grinder. Stinger versus Stinger fights are some of the dumbest interactions in all of Valorant. This problem is even more exasperated by the fundamentals of the game, the MR13 system. If the first 3 to 4 rounds are this random, that's around 1/3 of what's needed to win the game thrown to chance in both halves. Caboose from Team Envy boosted another tweet from Ghost player Nismo, and this is harshly accurate. Regardless of outcomes, you see this scenario play out more and more as the game has developed over the last few weeks. Frenzy versus Frenzy on the pistol, then both teams go full armor Stinger because it's the best value regardless of your money, and if you win that round, cool, you keep the Stingers, and if you lose, cool, you only lost 1,000 credits, might as well buy the Stingers again. So we run it back, another round of Stinger versus Stinger, and then the team that wins that round now has just leftover Stingers, while the losers can buy Vandals or Phantoms. So who the heck really won in that scenario? You could go up 3-0 in this setting and then be at the disadvantage on the 4th round. It's a really big reason why this metagame can feel so random and problematic. Okay, alright, let's step back a bit. Kind of went into a dark place there for a second. Kind of reminds me of some of my earlier videos when we talked about the Flash agent who shall not be named. But let's get back on track here. Obviously, this is all to say, the Stinger and Frenzy are a problem. Okay, so what do? Most pros are asking for a few variations of these following changes, either less damage or less accuracy while running, or an increase in price. A few of these don't really address the problem in my opinion, specifically price increases on the Stinger. If you raise the Frenzy price, then it enters the Ghost tier where you need to make that call to not be able to afford light armor or utility. And currently, I'm going to do my best to not have a literal aneurysm here, but currently you can just buy a Frenzy and armor and say utility, I don't need those drugs. The Frenzy is my high, and enter the W key heavens. That's clearly a problem. I think overall the running accuracy and body shot damage are kind of the best ways to keep these weapons in check, but for the Frenzy we can take a price increase. The Stinger, it just doesn't matter. It's always going to be more valuable in those early rounds than a Bulldog or a rifle. So make it harder to spam body shot kills and make it to where you at least have to be inside the enemy gamer to run and gun instead of like 40 meters away. I think those are good steps forward. But thankfully, our plight might be soon over. The Riot devs are here to reach down from above and lift us from our woes. On his livestream, Riot dev Nicholas Wu detailed some forthcoming changes. Thanks to Deserto as usual for collating these, but there was one that went to Twitter that didn't show up in this article, so we'll go over it first. This one is real straightforward. In the next patch, the Frenzy will move from 400 credits to 500. Pretty much exactly what I asked for earlier, and I think a good starting change. I think it will be telling if the Frenzy is truly overpowered if it still outperforms in the pistol round without the armor option it previously had, which for me was the main source of its power. Ducking back to the Deserto article, this wasn't the only change hinted at by Nicholas. Now I want to play the two relevant clips here, then talk about them after, so you guys get the full context. So let's just go ahead and play them right now.
Yeah, and some things to do with range, like range is something that, you know, I've hopefully tuned properly with the, you know, for the Stinger. We'll see that in the next patch, and I'll, you know, that's what I'm excited for everybody's opinion on, really. So yeah. No plans for running accuracy with SMGs. Like generally speaking, SMGs and, you know, the Frenzy are going to be better on the run than other weapons. Whether they're too effective right now is something that I'm still like looking at and trying to understand. Because it's a tough balance when these weapons are, you know, meant to be pretty effective at that particular thing that is frustrating people, right? But yeah, it is a level of efficacy that, you know, I'm trying to understand and tune back to a point that, like, it still feels good in those moments, and you can use it for that. But, you know, it doesn't feel as frustrating, but it's going to be frustrating no matter what.
Now, I totally get the sentiment here. It's something I've outlined in the past. The problem of running accuracy is that for SMGs and light weapons to have a place in low econ rounds against full buys, they do need the benefits of movement and movement accuracy, but I don't think that the range is the problem with the Stinger, it's the damage output. I don't want to be the just make it like Counter-Strike guy, but it's the most relevant example. SMGs in CSGO do radically lower headshot damage with a few exceptions compared to Valorant. The Stinger can kill 4 armor players in 3 shots to the head with the highest rate of fire in the entire game. Like, bruh, that's clearly the problem here. And if you can't hit that laser beam 3 headshots, it kills in 6 body shots at up to 50 meters. Even if you restrict that to like 30 meters, that's dumb damage for 1,000 credits. Make the Stinger a weapon that you literally dump an entire clip to try for a kill, then throw it away because it's made out of plastic and zip ties for that price so you can pick up the better gun on the ground. The damage regardless of range is just too high. But who knows, maybe I'm bugging out here and this range nerf will suddenly end the Stinger. But I just highly doubt it. In general, I wanted to turn it over to you guys now. Do you think these changes for the Stinger or the Frenzy are enough, too much, or not near enough? Let me know in those comments down below. I'm curious to get your guys' take on it, especially because all of us play in radically different environments sometimes depending on our rank or our experience. So maybe you don't think the Stinger is a problem. I can see that point of view. I'm just curious to see how that plays out. Now that my spirited rant is over, let's take a step back and go over some competitive news. The second North American Challengers Cup had its qualifier over the weekend, and we had some minor updates on it in an earlier video, but today we can talk about the teams who qualified for the main top 8 main event set to take place this weekend. So the teams that rose through the 128 team qualifier, as well as those that already had a spot from the previous event, this time around were Sentinels, FaZe Clan, XSET, Team Envy, Immortals, Gen G, Luminosity, and finally 100 Thieves. No real shockers here for the savvy pro Valorant fan except for XSET, who also did well in the first Challenger stage. I'm really curious about these guys because this team has no name value whatsoever, no former pros or stand-up talents from other games, but they're doing really well right now with a recent record of 8-1 and a comfortable top 10 ranking in NA overall. Definitely dope to see that these teams can hang with the big names, and I wish them the best. The rest of this bracket are the usual suspects. Sentinels, XSET, Immortals, and Luminosity were automatically included for their top 4 places in the first Challenger stage, and the rest of the field qualified through that huge open brawl of 128 teams. I think the standout team to look here is 100% 100 Thieves. So far, they haven't dropped a map in this event, cruising through each of their first 5 best-of-3 matches, 2-0ing all opponents. Admittedly, they got a very easy draw playing very weak competition until they hit the number 9 ranked and box squad, who they still dispatched easily, but all of that can still contribute to momentum. They are cruising, they just won a bunch of games, they're riding that high into the main event. And it seems that the break Nitro took at the beginning of the year hasn't slowed the Thieves down one bit, and they are definitely looking lethal going into this weekend. So let's throw up the bracket, and I'll give some rapid fire predictions. Sentinel versus FaZe should be a 2-0 wash for the Sentinel boys. I like the FaZe Clan team, but Sentinel should be above their pay grade. After that, Xhead versus Envy should be a close match. They've played twice previously and both have won one each. They're really closely ranked as well, so I'm going to take a shot on the dark here and take the new kids Xhead to win in 3 games, but Envy should be the favorites overall. As for Immortals versus Gen G, this one should be a comfortable win for Immortals. They're sitting at a strong 3rd ranking in North America and only had a recent win streak snapped in the finals of the previous challengers by Sentinels. Gen G are a good squad, but I think this will be too much for them, and Immortals will walk away with a 2-0 victory. And finally, Luminosity versus 100 Thieves. The Thieves are hot right now. Luminosity are coming off of a bye week, essentially. This game should be close, but I think the 100 Thieves will win this one handily 2-0. And that's all we have for today. I'll keep you guys updated on VCT news as it comes out. But to get back to the main point, do you guys think these Stinger Frenzy nerfs are going to stick? Do you anticipate any other things getting nerfed as well in the next patch? Let us know in those comments, and while you are down there, make sure to like the video and subscribe as well for more premium news and guides like this, with one goal in mind, helping you become a better player. We here at SkillCapped would like to thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.